Hi, this is Heather from Stamps Paper Love. During the month of June, I will be participating in the Best of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life and several other fabulous scrapbookers. Be sure to check out the link to the playlist below so you can see all of the creations that are being made this month. Today is day 4, and the sketch is designed by Susan Stringfellow for Sketch Savvy, and it calls for a stack of little paper strips. So I am arranging paper strips the way that I want them. This, I believe, is an Echo Park collection that is coffee themed, which works absolutely beautifully for what I'm going to scrapbook about in this layout. I have pictures of 2 cups of coffee that I got when we were having parent-teacher conferences at my school. So I'm just going to arrange the strips the way I want. I adhere them all down. Then I am going to take it to my sewing machine and sew a few lines kind of down the middle of the strips. Sewing machine, I do like the way stitching looks on layouts. I don't like the issues that my sewing machine give me in order to make that happen. It definitely probably needs a little tune-up and some cleaning, so perhaps I will take care of that here pretty soon, because 2 of the lines went really well and the third was not very fun. So now I'm positioning the photos on the page and just kind of deciding how I want them to overlap a little bit to tell the story we got going on here. So I've got a bunch of die cuts and little pieces, and so I kind of fiddle with those and decide how I want those to look. I'm going to build a cluster here, starting with this little coffee bean paper, and add some other elements on there. There's kind of a little Frappuccino container that looks super cute, and I decided to go with that. This floral, it is going to make it on the page, but not just yet. So I'm just kind of playing with things to see what is going to work there. And there are a lot of little bits and pieces in this collection, so you really could play all day with all the different die cuts and stickers and everything that goes with it. And I find this little frame and add it. I'm going to snip off the top part because I don't need all of that up there. And then punch some holes out of the it's got a scalloped border with some little holes in it, and it's kind of a cute little accent with the scalloped border. So I'm going to attach that, and I just keep building up and adding stickers and whatnot until I get it the way that I want it. The little die cut that I put on there said, "Today's plan, drink coffee and be awesome," which is definitely a good sentiment. This was a parent-teacher conference situation, so we had 2 days of parent-teacher conferences where we had students in attendance in the morning, and then a little gap in our day where we could go get lunch. And so a colleague and I went and got lunch, and then also stopped and picked coffee up on those days, because why not? Why wouldn't you? So it's nice to kind of be able to get out of the building for a little bit on those long days to maintain a little bit of sanity. So here's the floral making its way into that spot. And then I think I'm going to work on the title. And I found these chipboard alphabets that they look like lined paper, so it goes really well with the whole school theme. And I really wanted to spell out conferences and coffee, but there were not enough letters to do that, and it was a very large title. So I end up deciding to just call it Coffee Run, which is not entirely true, because it was more of a lunch run with the coffee added on to the end. But hey, the title works. The coffee was way more joyful and satisfying than the lunch was. Lunch was good. I'm not gonna say it was bad or anything, but the coffee was the highlight. for the day, and to take it back when you had several hours to be still working and meeting with parents, it just helped make that a little bit easier on the psyche. So here I'm gluing down those chipboard pieces. They are definitely way too old to have had any stickiness to them, so the Nuvo Deluxe adhesive for sure helped out with that process. And I still have a few things to add. I found a little coffee mug that I liked the color with it. It went well with the collection here. So I'm going to add that down in that little space by the word run. And there's still a few more odds and ends. I'm going to get out a little card that is also kind of has that lined paper feel to it. It's not exactly that, but it's got lines, the blue lines, and a little bit of floral embellishment to do the journaling. And it just says the best thing about conference days is getting out for lunch and coffee. Julia and I took full advantage of the freedom this year. Definitely feels like you are a real person when you're able to leave and get lunch and coffee. You know, most of the time as a teacher, you're pretty much locked in. We typically have, I don't know, probably at the end of the day, about 22 minutes or so for lunch. By the time you do a couple of things after your last class before lunch leaves, and then get yourself to our lounge where we eat lunch, it's not very much time to really relax at all and enjoy your lunch. It's just kind of a scarf it down and go on to the next class. So next to the journaling, I'm going to add a few more strips of paper because, first of all, I have a ton of those strips of paper from cutting them up, and I just wanted to use a few more of them and kind of tie in those patterns from the left side of the page to the right side of the page. So I'm just adding a few next to the journaling. It also was kind of a weird gap between where the little journal piece ended and where the edge of that photo, that second photo was. So it was nice to add in the strips to make it a little bit more unified. And then I'll add a little heart-shaped sticker that has some coffee beans on it here in a minute too. And then there's a little bit more embellishing that's going to happen. I'm going to add a few more stickers next to the Today's Plan sticker. I'm going to dig through my stash to find some enamel dots and add that on, and just kind of wrap up the layout with a couple more additions to it. So I really had a lot of fun playing with the sketch. It's nice when a sketch like this one is pretty much cut and dried. There's not really a whole lot of thinking that you have to do to go through it. I mean, the original sketch called for one photo, so the only thinking I really had to do was, okay, how do I make two photos work? And, layering them up and offsetting them like I did worked really, really nicely. Here come the enamel dots, and I'm just going to put, I'm using 3 different colors. There's kind of a teal color, a lighter blue color, and then a pink, and I'm just arranging them in little clusters of 3 up in that corner, and then I'm going to put some next to the little Frappuccino and by the coffee cup as well. And that is pretty much going to do it. I really appreciate you watching and hope that you are enjoying this best of 30 days of sketches. I find sketches to be a really good way to get started getting a layout together, because you don't really have too much planning that you have to do. You just can focus on picking your supplies out and deciding, what's going to work well together, and that makes the scrapbooking process a lot more relaxing. The still photos are coming up next, and I hope you have enjoyed watching. Please like and subscribe if you did, and I will see you with the next video.